Libra, there is a focus on trying to save something that you believed has always been something worth saving. You believe in something that is deeply salvageable within yourself. We will look for you now. This is the Arcana Veil. Wherever Libra is stationed in your chart, this is a timeless reading. We have introspect here. We have change. Anima. The feminine part of your soul. Expand. I haven't seen this anima actually pop out for so long. Actually, maybe ever. And this is my own deck, which is quite funny actually. Feminine part of the soul, or the feminine part of the consciousness, is interacting with the soul, is interrelated to the soul. There is a change in way you are focusing on what you can salvage, what you can grow within yourself. Here, the introspective in the cave of the consciousness, the deeper part of the natures. There is change that is desired, and that is what is being used, the anima, to be able to experience the creation. When creation essentially takes place, it requires a masculine form, or the animus, to be able to seed the consciousness, for the anima to birth it into expansion, which is what you're seeking here. You want something, you want to start something, and you want to build it into a direction in which you can grow yourself into. It's like you're looking for a part of yourself that you've always had, and you've always wanted to achieve that inner growth. And in this way, you are encountering the consciousness experience of realizing that this is all part of your change. But at the same time, you're actually having quite fun doing that. So this is quite cool for you. Let's have a look and see what is in your tarot. We have the Queen of Wands here, beautifully placed under the introspect, which is how it should be. Oops. Page of Swords here for the changes taking place, the mental acuity. And we have the Devil underneath the anima, Malach, which is just a symbol for illusions that are repeating themselves constantly. We have the Seven of Swords here that is reminding you of something that you need to take notice of. We have the Nine of Wands here coming out of. So we're going to be seeing why these features come up here. Whenever there's change that happens, whenever there's great requests taking place in terms of needing to shake off old things, getting rid of there where your energy has been leaked out of, or what you've given your energy to, which has perhaps perpetuated the whole idea about illusions in the heart of the nature here. The Devil is in the heart experience under the anima. It's a part of yourself that you have perhaps vilified in terms of being able to experience your own creation, which in a sense here is being given to you and suggesting that this is a part that needs to be rescued, is how you look at yourself. You cannot single out one part of yourself that you believe could be a villain. You have to be able to look at your entire image of who you are, because you have put all of those parts inside of you from the day you started to open your eyes, when you were connected through the subconsciousness as a newborn baby. That which has come with you intact has always been with you as that which will give the judgment over the time, which is from the Spirit and also God, if you want to bring that in there. In the underworld, what is Libra releasing? The Nine of Vessels. The Knight of Cups. The Fool, the new beginning. coming out of all of that stuff. Things that you already know. The devil again. Ten of Wands. Okay. There's a point inside of every existing being where there is a part of their shadow that they vilify and then call it the devil, because of old belief systems that have been brought in place where you must cut off that part that does not belong to you. Cut off that part that is you believing that doesn't belong to you. When in actual fact, all of this is really just a snapshot of the energy that is within the nature of this being. Now, also keep in mind that this may be persons that you're dealing with that are related to you or that are around the Libra Collective. So this does not mean that it is only just for you. This may be that it's also showing those people that you are dealing with. Now, the energy shows in itself here that that person that likes to play the boogeyman is a person who has cut off certain parts of their consciousness through vicious acts of lack of self-love, cutting off the anima of the deeper nature of the self, or vilifying the shadows and turning them into devils so that it makes it easier to understand, and basically reminding me very much of that story of the guy who was the headless horseman, who was charging off into the dark parts, killing all the enemies on the way of the road, when in actual fact it was all based on the fact that he was without his head, and he would see shadows everywhere if it was contaminated within his consciousness. In other words, he was cutting off the head of his animus. He circumcised his consciousness, his spirit. Whether it's male or female, this is very vicious act to commit to the soul self. Now, you may have been perhaps encountered a person as a person, and I will refer to you as the one that is in the reading, as one who has given over themselves to certain belief structures, could be certain societies that have required from you to cut off certain parts of yourself because you are requested or required to self-loathe, which will give you the option of actually being able to build yourself forward, going into what direction you need to experience. Let's have a look and see. The Fool here is under the Devil, which is also related to the illusions that the Devil then plays based on what is within your consciousness. Nine of Wands here, resiliently persevering and keeping at bay the very shadow that you have called the devil within yourself. In other words, the part that you have vilified inside of yourself. We have the two Two of Wands, where he is standing, looking out over how to express the nature of what it is that he seeks to encounter for himself here, the desire to come out of that. There is a part of this person that wishes to come out of this condition of being terrorized by constant theft of energy, by constantly being tied up to certain things that feels painful. It's like binding your feet like a ballerina and not ever getting a bigger size shoe. There's a very severe self-binding that's taken place here in this energy of this person, whether this is mental or spiritual, and there is a desire to actually unbind that so that it doesn't become, so that it can be released. so that there's no more pain, so that the fear of that pain can actually be released. It's more the fear of the pain than the pain itself, because I believe that this person has become numb to that pain, but it's the fear of the pain that keeps them numb to the pain itself. And there we have setting the journey in place, the Six of Wands here, taking you into the path of higher perspective, meeting that which is within the experience of the wound itself. You are being reminded to travel into that part where the pain is vilified, where the pain became vilified and where it became turned into a devil, which is something that you feel has caused you to do things that have perhaps not worked out for you. That took hard work to actually keep those things in place. It's not your ego. The anima is not the ego. So nowhere in any way, shape or form, if it was ever told to you that you must kill off your ego or sacrifice your ego, you took a part of yourself that you did not like, and you cut that part off. You try to bind it off, and that part is essentially slowing you down. That's being bound up. I mean, it's stuck between the doors. You should unbind that and release the pain which that trauma or that wound has caused you, in order for you to be able to do that. And I see that you do this. What is the outcome for you here? After all, 5 of coins. Realizing that after all of that pain and wounds that you've experienced, after all of that, that it really was all about lack of self-love, perhaps lack of validation, lack of who you are, lack of knowing who you are, being subjected to belief systems that have enforced control so that you are unable to expand in your truer self. Again, let me just remind you, let me just refresh your memory that this is for the Libra Collective. Does not mean that it is pertaining to one particular person or any one of you. This is the energy of the person in the reading that you are here to understand. So whomever this is for, that person is experiencing extreme lack of self-love. That is why they are the way that they are. And that is why they have the double in 2 places within the heart. It's because they cut off that part that they wanted to disconnect from. But the person does become focused on the healing. There's healing that takes place here. There's inner journey work. There's a lot of work that takes place. There's rescuing the self in its totality in order for the expansion to take place. So this is definitely a karmic clearing that's taking place with this person. Libra, this was your reading. This was the Arcana Veil. Until next time.